So my name is Glenn German. I'm the co-writer and producer of At Middleton, which is a story about a father taking his son on a tour of college campus and a mother taking her daughter on a tour, and the two parents meet when they leave the tour, and they have a very special half day.
My name is Adam Rogers. I'm the co-writer and director of At Middleton, which is a story about two people who discover that it's never too late to be young, to feel young and fall in love. Well, yeah, Andy signed on to play George, which we were thrilled about, but we were also thrilled that he was able to produce, because he's made so many movies, not just as an actor, but as a producer, as a director himself. And at that point that we had Andy, we had no money. So Andy, was able to help us complete the financing and attract these really significant talent, artists to the mix. Arturo Sandoval, he's a living legend, and Emmanuel Kadosh, who shot the movie, had worked with Andy several times before and gave us just the look that I was looking for, which is almost a very French New Wave sort of visualization.
Well, we got Vera first, and it was a huge coup, because we very much wanted her. And then Thaisa, we thought would be wonderful as her daughter, but we didn't know how Vera would feel about that, whether she would think that that's a little creepy or whether she thought that that would be a charming idea. And so we were very lucky that she thought that that was a terrific idea. And they sort of had a very special shorthand, having grown up together, that enabled them to sort of really bring home this mother-daughter relationship very much.
30 years ago, I took a college tour with my dad, and I was on the 7th or 8th one, and felt like I just wanted to be anywhere else. And I saw a girl who had wandered off from the tour, and I found myself sort of drifting over, to see her, and we spent a few hours together running around this college campus, and that was the idea for a while.
But then we got old and realized that we were more interested in the parent's story than we were the kid's story, because it's such an emotional time for a parent, giving up your child, and sort of being in this emotional upheaval, and sort of susceptible to being able to have a day like that George and Edith have.
I write all the nouns, and Glenn does all the verbs.
That's right. It's a little tedious, but we find
it works
the product works good.
Glenn is an amazing writer, and
we've been doing it for 14 years. So we have a shorthand amongst ourselves, and are able to just sort of it's like we can finish each other's sentences, and it's just
sort of like now.
Yeah, exactly. But but we very interesting with this story. Normally we were very specific about how we outline things A to Z, but with this story we didn't do an outline, because we wanted to sort of discover George and Edith's day like they discovered their day. And so we took a lot of wrong turns and went down a lot of roads we had to come back and go back out. But at the end of the day, I think we get sort of a very spontaneous movie about the choices that they make as they're going around the college in the afternoon.
I think my favorite scene was up in the bell tower. The first time George and Edith climb the bell tower. George, of course, is afraid of heights, and he finally gets the courage to go up there. And it was just, I remember it was a beautiful day. The wind was blowing. They had both, Vera and Andy had both gotten to know each other, and the way they sort of move together and look at each other, and it's clear they're enjoying themselves as actors very much, but the characters are really falling for each other, and I just remember that was a great moment.
I don't know that I have a specific favorite, but the very first scene we shot on the very first day is where they're on the bench, and they've sort of taken a break from riding their bikes, and they're looking at the various students and commenting on what their lives might be like. But it's in that scene where it's the first time that they make an admission to each other that they may be more attracted to each other than they've led on to this particular point in the film. And because I was so nervous on that day, wondering whether or not Andy and Vera would have chemistry that would allow us to believe that these two people could fall in love, it was a very special day and a very special scene for me.